Please tell me whether my screen is visible or not. Is it visible? Students, is it visible? Anyone, please respond. Is it visible? Shall I start? Shall I start the session?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Here, last topic for this unit is multimeters. Multimeters, this is the analog type of multimeter. This is the analog type of multimeter. This multimeter is basically a PMMC meter only. We are going to use this PMMC meter to measure. We are going to measure DC current. The meter acts as ammeter. If I am measuring this DC current, then that meter acts as ammeter with low resistance. It is going to be with low resistance. The range changing is accomplished by shunting in such a way that the current passing through the meter does not exceed the maximum rating value. If the range is in order to make this range extension for this range, I am going to use some shunt type of resistors I am going to use here. Okay, and multimeter consists of in this multimeter circuit consists of ammeter, voltmeter, ammeter, voltmeter, ohm meter combined with a function switch to connect the appropriate circuit to a d'Orson-Walls moment. It is this multimeter consists of indirectly it consists of ammeter, voltmeter, ohm meter combined with a function switch. It consists of some function switch. By changing this function switch, it acts as ammeter can be converted into voltmeter, voltmeter can be converted into ohm meter like that. Okay, to connect the appropriate circuit to the d'Orson-Walls moment, that is PMMC moment, permanent magnet moving coil moment. Okay, from figure, the meter consists of DC milliammeter. That the circuit, the upcoming circuit consists of DC milliammeter, DC voltmeter, DC AC voltmeter, microammeter, and an ohm meter. All these parts present in one circuit. One circuit. All these parts are accomplished in one circuit itself. Therefore, that circuit I can treat that circuit as multimeter here. Okay. This is the circuit diagram. In the circuit diagram, we are having different parts here. This part will give the microamperes range. This part is same for all the circuits. This part, let me draw this one. This part, these resistors are same for all the different circuits. That is this part is same, and we are going to use for AC voltage measurement. We are going to use this voltage divider. This is the already designed part. You are supposed to memorize all these resistors also. Okay, you are supposed to memorize all these resistors. First one is the 160k, the 160k. This is 800k, and this is 3m. And these are the ranges for the voltages: 10 volts, 50 volt, 250 volt, 1000 volt, like that. This is the range for DC voltage here, and this is the range for AC voltage, and this is range for AC voltage. And resistors we are using here is 80k, 400k, 500k, 1m. Okay, 1m. And the range for this voltage is again 10, 50, 250, 500 is there. There is no 500 is there, whereas here 500 difference is 500 is there, and 1000. Here 5 ranges are there, whereas here 4 ranges are there. across this in this part I'm using some two diodes. What is the function of this two diodes? Normally, for rectification sake, for AC voltage measurement, we are going to use this diodes. Okay, and this resistors 326 ohms, 638 ohms, and this 1540 ohms, 53 ohm, 2.2 ohm, like that. We are connected the resistance depends upon the requirement. We are connected all these resistors here. Okay, this resistor, this is the preset variable preset value. This range, this range will give the milliohm range to the milliohm range here. This is the milliohm range, and this is the other parameter measurement. This is the micro ohm range, microamperes, sorry, microamperes range. Okay, in this way we need to memorize all the components, and we can draw each and every unit by knowing this one diagram. By knowing this one diagram, we can split up this diagram, what is the function of each and every component in this circuit. Okay, you will see that one briefly. By dividing the entire circuit into small parts, we will explain. We are going to understand what is the working of each and every part. Okay, this is the micro ammeter section of a multimeter. This is the micro ammeter section. In this section, one PMMC meter is get connected, and this resistor is also provided here. These resistor, we have seen these resistors. These are the resistors provided. Those resistors are this one. Okay, 326, 638, 1540 ohm, 53 ohm, 2.2 ohm, and we are going to measure the maximum range for this microammeter is 250 microamperes, and this is the ground. Common is the ground here. The microammeter shows a circuit of a multimeter used as a microammeter here. This is the part we are going to measure microamperes here. Microamperes here. This acts as this is going to measure the flow of current. What is the flow of current? I can measure the current in terms of microamperes. Therefore, I can treat this circuit as the microammeter here. In the entire circuit, this part is mainly used for measurement of microamperes here. Okay, and next one. Here, next one. This is the DC ammeter. DC ammeter section of a multimeter here. DC ammeter section of a multimeter. Here, here also this is the part. These resistor part. This is the part we are using. This is common. This is common. But I'm using only this one, this value, as well as these values, as well as these values. This switch is open. Assume this switch is in the open condition. Therefore, I'm going to the flow of current will take place across here, and I'm going to measure this milliamperes range and common, and this 250 microamperes like that. That is the circuit diagram. This is the circuit diagram. Modification in the circuit diagram here. This is the DC ammeter section of the multimeter here. In this also, these resistors are common, and in between some ranges are given. Those ranges are, first range is the 250 microamperes. This is the smallest range, and thereafter 10 milliamps, and thereafter 250 milliamps, and thereafter common terminal or ground terminal. Okay. From these different ranges, I can measure the DC current. I am going to measure the DC current in terms of milliamps. First one is I am going to measure only microamperes of current. That is, I can treat that meter as the DC microammeter, whereas here DC milliammeter. DC milliammeter. Okay. Next one, same. This part is same. This part is same. For this one, voltage divider is added. voltage divider is added. We know the basic concept of DC voltmeter. That basic concept is used here. That basic concept DC voltmeter లో ఏం చేసాం మనం voltage range పెంచాలంటే we are just appending some voltage divider. We are just appending some voltage divider in the form of some resistor, different range of resistors we are used, and automatically that voltages is going to be divided into different ranges here. Like that I am going to append this voltage divider circuit. This circuit is common. Therefore I am going to use this voltage divider circuit is appended here. Let it be this resistors. These resistors is 39k, 160k, 800k, 3 mega ohm. 3 mega ohm, like that is different ranges is 10, 50, 250,000 volt, like that. This is the part of the this is this is the subpart of the DC voltmeter. This is the subpart of the DC voltmeter. Okay. Next one, AC voltmeter. AC voltmeter. We know the concept of AC voltmeters. In that concept, we have used the diodes. So whether it may be, if I am using the only one diode, I can treat that voltmeter can be called as half wave rectification is taking place inside that circuit. And if I am using two diodes, then two diodes. If I am using two diodes, then full wave rectification is taking place in that circuit. And if I am using four diodes, then bridge circuit is used in that circuit, like that. Here, then this AC voltages I'm using two diodes here. This resistor part is same. And across these two diodes in the middle, one resistor is connected, that is 18.9 kilo ohm. And another voltage divider is also placed. Why? Because AC type also first rectification, we have seen first rectification and then amplification, first amplification and then rectification, like that. Just by memorizing that basic concept, we are used this rectifier circuit here. We are going to use this rectifier circuit in build for AC voltages here. Okay. This is the basic resistor basic resistor part. Along with this, the diode D1 and D2 is given, and resistor is also provided for that resistor. It is accompanied with some voltage divider circuit. This voltage divider circuit is given here. That voltage divider circuit is we are taking that voltage divider circuit from 80k, 400k, 500k, 1 m, like that. And different voltages ranges is starting from the 10 volt to the 1000 volt. Okay, these are five ranges are there. The basic difference between AC voltage range and the DC voltage ranges. In DC voltage range, we have come across only 4 voltage ranges, whereas here 5 voltage ranges we are taking here. Okay. And what is the theory behind this one, we will see. And this figure shows the AC voltmeter section of the multimeter. To measure AC voltage, the output AC voltage is rectified by the generally the this one is the voltage is rectified by a half wave rectifier, because the current passes through the meter. Across the meter, the diode serves as the protection. These diodes, one diode is used for protection, and another diode is used for conduction sake, like that. Okay. The diode conducts when reverse voltage appears across the diode. Reverse voltage appear అయినప్పుడు మనకి ఆ డయోడ్ అనేది కండక్ట్ అవుతుంది అనమాట. Okay. So the current bypasses the meter in the reverse direction. This current is going to be bypasses in the reverse direction. It is going to be bypassed here. The current conduction when the reverse voltage appears across the diode. So the current bypasses the meter in the reverse direction. In this way, you are supposed to explain each and every component in the circuit, and explain. Okay. Next one, ohm meter. Again, first one, we will take the first one. In that what are the components present in that circuit, we will explain first. Refer to this one. This is the ohm meter circuit. This part is common, but one potentiometer is placed here. This potentiometer along with some switches is placed, and voltage supply is also provided here. And this is the maximum. This PMMC meter here acts as the ohm meter here. Okay. This part is same. This part is same. Okay. But we are taking this part. This part is different. Okay. This is the part we are using here, and this is the 3 volt supply, and one resistor is placed, that is 102 ohm, 102 ohm. The maximum range, the maximum minimum range is 10k, and maximum range is 1m, and maximum range is 1m. Okay. In this way, we can just draw this circuit, as well as we can explain what is ohm meter. Just go with this ohm meter. Refer to the figure. Refer to this figure, shows the ohm meter section of the multimeter. It is in the range of 10k range. The 102 ohm resistance is connected in parallel with the total circuit resistance, and in the 1 mega ohm range, the 102 resistance is totally disconnected from the circuit. Totally disconnected from the circuit. ఈ 102 అనేది మెగా ఓమ్స్ యూస్ చేసేటప్పుడు డిస్కనెక్ట్ అయి ఉంటుంది, 10k యూస్ చేసేటప్పుడు కనెక్ట్ అయి ఉంటుందంట. 10k రేంజ్ యూస్ చేసేటప్పుడు 102 ఈజ్ ఇన్ ప్యారలల్ విత్ దిస్ 10k, whereas this 1 mega ohm circuit, it is going to be disconnected with the circuit here. Therefore, on the mega ohm range, the half scale deflection is 10k. The half scale deflection, we are going to take the half scale deflection is 10k. Since on the 10k range, the 102 resistance is connected across the total resistance. Therefore, in this range, the half scale deflection is 100. Half scale deflection is 100 ohms. 100 ohms. If this I am using this 10k only, 10k తీసుకున్నాం అనుకున్నాము, దానిలో హాఫ్ ఎంత అవుతుంది, 100 అనమాట. అట్లాగా that half scale deflection I am going to take it as 100 ohms here. The measurement of resistance is done by applying a small voltage installed within the meter. This is the measurement of resistance is done by applying a small voltage is installed in the meter. That voltage is 3 volts. That voltage, small voltage we are supposed to install here, that voltage is 3 volts. Okay. And for an 1 mega ohm range, the internal resistance is 10 kilo ohm. That is the value at mid scale as shown in the figure. And for the 10k range, the internal resistance is 100. 1 mega ohms తీసుకుంటేమో దాని ఇంటర్నల్ రెసిస్టెన్స్ ఏమో, మీటర్ యొక్క ఇంటర్నల్ రెసిస్టెన్స్ ఏమో 100k ఉంటుంది. అదే మిడ్ స్కేల్ కాబట్టి అదే 10k తీసుకుంటే దాని మిడ్ స్కేల్ ఎక్కడ ఉంటుందంటే 100 ohms అనమాట. ఆల్రెడీ చెప్పిన పాయింట్ ఇక్కడ మళ్ళీ ఒక్కసారి రిట్రీవ్ చేస్తాం అంతే. Internal resistance is 100 ohms. That is value at mid scale are shown in the figure. Okay, this is the, in this way you are supposed to explain these two ranges, that is 10k and 1 mega ohm. Don't worry, we just memorize this one, and all the parts we can easily draw. Next one is equivalent circuit. Equivalent circuit of 1 mega ohm range. That equivalent circuit is this one, this resistance as well as this resistance. I am considering this resistance like this, and these two resistors are in series, and all these resistors are in series, and these two resistors are in parallel. Let me draw. These two resistors are in series. This is 645. Then it will become, this is the summation of these two resistors is 645, and all these resistors are in series. Here the summation of all these resistors I am taking here. Therefore, that is 1914 ohms. Then this is the resistance. This is the circuit diagram for equivalent circuit diagram for the above circuit here. Okay. Thereafter it is going to be converted into, these two resistors are in parallel. And this resistor, by making these three resistors, by calculating these three resistors, the equivalent diagram is this one. Please calculate that one, you will get the appropriate value, and it is going to be with 0.8 kilo ohm, then 9.2 kilo ohm. Then across here I am going to obtain 10k. This is the summation. These two are summation here. Then I am going to obtain 10k range here. Okay. And whereas here, if I am considering 102 ohm resistor is connected in the circuit, ఇక్కడ 102 ohm రెసిస్టర్ కనెక్టెడ్ చేయలేదు. ఇది మెగా ఓమ్ రేంజ్ అమ్మ. ఇది మెగా ఓమ్ రేంజ్లో ఏంటి, 102 ఓమ్స్ రెసిస్టర్ని మనం తీసుకోవట్లా, కన్సిడర్ చేయట్లా. ఇది మెగా ఓమ్ రేంజ్లో, దిస్ ఈస్ ఇన్ ద రేంజ్ ఆఫ్ మెగా ఓమ్స్. whereas in the range of 10k range, we are supposed to take this 102 ohm. Then this circuit will become like this. 9.2 kilo ohm, 0.8 kilo ohm. This will become these two are in series, and these two are in summation part, and this is in parallel with one or two resistance. Then total it is approximately it is going to be 100 ohms like that. It is going to be 100 ohms like that. This is the half scale deflection is 100 ohm on 10k range, on 10k range. Okay, in this way we can give the two ranges here, that is 1 mega ohm range as well as 10k range. Okay, here the half scale reading is 10k for 1 mega ohm range. This is 10k, whereas here half scale deflection for 10k is 100 ohms. Okay, just a minute. The range of ohm meter, in this way we can obtain different circuits. First one is, this is the basic circuit diagram. We can measure DC voltage, we can measure AC voltage, AC voltage, and we can measure ohms here, that is resistance. We can measure microamperes range, we can measure milliamperes range. These are the same meter, the same BMMC meter acts as different meters here, like it can act as milliamperes, milliammeter. It can act as a DC milliammeter, DC milliammeter, DC microammeter, AC voltmeter, DC voltmeter, like that. As well as it can be acts as ohm meter also. By memorizing the entire circuit, we can draw what are the different parts. What are the different parts for this entire circuit? These values you are supposed to memorize, these values. Then you can automatically get entire values here. This voltage divider values, this voltage divider values are approximately equal. Please these are the just like a resemble for this voltage divider to this voltage divider. Please just compare and memorize the things. Okay, the range of ohm meter can be passed by connecting the switch to a suitable shunt resistance. By using different values of shunt resistor, different ranges can be obtained. By increasing the battery voltage and using the suitable shunt, the maximum values which the ohm meter reads can be changed. Uh, by increasing the battery voltage increase చేసుకుంటూ and using a suitable shunt resistance ని ప్లేస్ చేయడం వల్ల ఏంటంటే we can increase that range also అని చెప్పి చెప్తున్నారు. Here, the multimeter operates instructions here. The combination of a volt ohm milliammeter is a basic tool in any electronic laboratory. The proper use of this instrument increases its accuracy and its life. The following precautions to be observed here to prevent under overloading and possible damage. When checking voltage or current, start with the highest range of the instrument. We are supposed to start with highest range of the instrument. This point we know this point already. We should go with highest range of the instrument and move down the range successfully. For higher accuracy, the range selected should be such that the deflection falls in the upper half of the meter scale. For higher accuracy sake, the range selected should be such that deflection falls in the upper half on the meter scale. For maximum accuracy and minimum loading, choose a voltmeter range such that the total voltmeter resistance, that is ohms per volt into full scale voltage, is at least 100 times. This is at least 100 times the resistance of the circuit under test. This is the we may come across for maximum accuracy and the minimum loading effect చూసుకోవాలి, and choose a voltmeter range such that the total voltmeter resistance at least total voltmeter resistance at least 100 times the resistance of the circuit under test. 100 times ఎక్కువగా ఉండేలాగా చూసుకోవాలన్నమాట. ఆ సర్క్యూట్ అండర్ టెస్ట్ చేసే ఆ రెసిస్టర్ వాల్యూ 100 times మోర్ ఉండేలా చూసుకోవాలి. Make all resistors readings in the uncrowded portion on the meter scale whenever possible. రెసిస్టర్ రీడింగ్స్ అన్క్రౌడెడ్ పోర్షన్లో ఉండకుండా చూసుకోవాలన్నమాట. అన్క్రౌడెడ్ పోర్షన్లో ఉండేలా చూసుకోవాలన్నమాట. అది క్రౌడెడ్ పోర్షన్లో ఉండే అంటే ఎక్కువ రీడింగ్స్ స్మాల్ రీడింగ్స్ ఉన్నాయనుకున్నాం ఒకే చోట ఎక్కువ రీడింగ్స్ తీయాలనుకుంటా, అట్లా కాకుండా కొంచెం ఎలాబరేట్గా తీసుకునేలా రీడింగ్స్ తీసుకోవాలన్నట్టు చెప్తున్నాను. Take extra precautions when checking the high voltages and checking the current in high voltage circuits. Verify the circuit polarity before making a test, particularly when measuring DC voltages or currents. When checking resistance in circuits, be sure power to the circuit is switched off. Otherwise, the voltage across the resistance may damage the meter here. Resistance check చేసేటప్పుడు పవర్ టు ది సర్క్యూట్ ఈ స్విచ్ ఆఫ్. పవర్ అనేది స్విచ్ ఆఫ్ చేసుకోవాలి, తర్వాత సర్క్యూట్ అది ఆన్ చేసుకున్న తర్వాత అప్పుడు మెజర్ చేసుకోవాలన్నమాట. Renew ohm meter batteries frequently to ensure accuracy of the resistance scale. Recalibrate the instrument at frequent intervals. Intervals no recalibrate చేసుకుంటూ ఉండాలి, then only we will get the accurate readings. Protect the instrument from dust, moisture, fumes, that is gases like that, and heat. Okay, these are the precautions we are supposed to maintain for proper working of the multimeter. Okay. And these are the topics seen in the first unit. By this we have completed first unit. We will move on to the second unit, that is signal generators. Just introduction part, I will give only introduction part. A signal generator is a vital component in a test setup. ఏదైనా టెస్ట్ చేయాలంటే this is the main component in the test setup. And in electronic troubleshooting and development, whether on a service bench or in the research laboratory also, we are going to more the signal generator is the main equipment we are supposed to have for conduction of any experiment or any research like that. For basic measurement parameters, we are supposed to use the signal generator here. Signal generators have a variety of applications. It have variety of applications, such as checking the stage gain. We can check the stage gain, frequency response, alignment in receivers. Alignment in receivers is also possible, and a wide range of other electronic equipment also. They provide a variety of waveforms for testing the electronic circuits, usually at low power. By using only low power, the different waveforms can be analyzed here. The term oscillator is used to describe an instrument that provides only a sinusoidal output voltage, sinusoidal output signal. నార్మల్గా ఏంటి ఆసిలేటర్ అయితే ఏం చేస్తుందంటే ఒక సైన్సాయిడల్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ సిగ్నల్కి అవుట్పుట్ సిగ్నల్ ఇస్తుంది అనమాట. And the term generator describes the instrument that provides several output waveforms, different several output waveforms it is going to generate. This is the special significance for the generators here. Signal generator can give the different types of waveforms. It can give sine wave, square wave, triangular wave, and the pulse trains, as well as amplitude modulated waveform like that. It can generate here different types of waveforms is possible, that is sine, square, triangular, pulse, amplitude modulation waveform also. Hence, when we say that the oscillator generates a signal, it is important to note that no energy is created. ఒక ఆసిలేటర్ సర్క్యూట్లో ఏంటంటే ఏదైనా సిగ్నల్ జనరేట్ చేస్తే that is not going to create any sort of energy here. It is simply converting DC source into, it is going to convert the DC source into AC energy like that at some specific frequency like that. There are various type of signal generators, but several requirements are common to all types here. The frequency of the signal should be known and stable. Here, for the signal generators, the frequency of the signal should be known, and that frequency should be in the stable format. Okay. The amplitude should be controllable. That amplitude should be in the controllable format from very small to relatively large value. ఆ యాంప్లిట్యూడ్ ఏంటంటే ఒక చాలా తక్కువ వాల్యూ నుంచి లార్జ్ వాల్యూ దాకా ఉండాలన్నమాట. The amplitude should be controllable format. That amplitude should be in the controllable format, that is very small to relatively large value. Finally, the signal should be distortion free. ఆ సిగ్నల్ అనేది ఏంటంటే డిస్టార్షన్ ఫ్రీగా ఉండాలన్నమాట. ఫైనల్గా whatever the signal we are giving, that should be in the distortion free state. The above mentioned requirements vary for various special type of generators, such as function generators, pulse and sweep generators also. This is the basic difference between oscillator and signal generator. signal generator. Next one. Various kinds of signals at both audio and radio frequencies are required at various times in an instrumentation system. In most cases, a particular signal required by the instrument is internally generated by the self-contained oscillator. Internally, any circuit, any instrumentation system consists of self-generated oscillator. Here, the oscillator circuit commonly appears in a fixed frequency form. That is, when it provides a thousand cycles excitation source for an AC bridge. We are going to learn this AC bridge as well as Q meters in the upcoming subsequent classes. Okay, just for theory sake, we are going through this topic. Okay, don't worry. What is meant by this AC bridges and all those things we will see. The oscillator circuit commonly appears in a fixed frequency form. That is, when it provides the 1000 cycle excitation source for an AC bridge. In other cases, such as in a Q meter, quality meter, Q meters oscillator in the form of the variable frequency arrangement form లో ఉంటుందన్నమాట. Q meters లో ఇది oscillator is in the form of variable frequency arrangement for covering Q measurement over a wide range of frequencies from a few 100 kilohertz to megahertz range. In contrast with the self-contained oscillators that generate only the specific signals required by the instrument, the class of generators that are available as separate instrument to provide signals for general general test purpose are usually designated as signal generators. The audio frequency and radio frequency generators are designed to provide extensive and continuous coverage over the wide range of frequencies are in practical. These are the different ranges. These are the different bands and approximate ranges here. Frequency range is provided here. In RF signal generators, the additional provision is generally made to modulate the continuous wave signal to provide the modulated RF signal, that is radio frequency signal. The frequency band limits are listed here. That is, first one is for audio frequency range. These ranges are very important for interview sake. Please memorize. జనరల్గా మీరు ఏదైనా కోర్ ఇండస్ట్రీకి వెళ్తే ఈ రేంజెస్ కంపల్సరీ అడుగుతారు. వాట్ ఈస్ ఆడియో ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ రేంజ్, రేడియో ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ రేంజ్, వెరీ లో ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ రేంజ్, లైక్ దట్. Audio frequency range is 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Radio frequency range above 30 kilohertz. Very low frequency 15 to 100 kilohertz. Low frequency 100 to 500 kilohertz. Broadcast 0.5 to 1.5 megahertz. Video, that is DC type, that is 5 megahertz. This is high frequency 1.5 to 30 megahertz. Very high frequency 30 to 300 megahertz. Ultra high frequency 300 to 3000 megahertz. Microwave range beyond that 3000 megahertz, that is it may reaches to approximately 3 gigahertz, like that. Most of the service type audio frequency generators commonly covers from 2 hertz to 200 kilohertz, which is far beyond the audio frequency range. In more advanced laboratory type of AF generators, the frequency range extended quite a bit further. Example, Hewlett Packard model covers. This is the one model, generator model. Hewlett Packard model covers 5 hertz to 600 gigahertz, 600 kilohertz, like that. And Marconi model generators both sine and square waves and has a very wide range, that is 10 hertz to 10 megahertz range, like that. These are the two types of signal generators. Next one is fixed frequency of oscillator. Fixed frequency of AF oscillator. In many cases, a self-contained oscillator circuit is an integral part of the instrument circuitry. ఏదైనా సర్క్యూట్లో ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్ సర్క్యూట్ యూస్ చేస్తున్నాం అంటే దానిలో ఆసిలేటర్ అనేది ఇన్బిల్ట్ అనేది ఉంటుంది అనమాట. And is used to generate a signal at some specific audio frequency. Such a fixed frequency might be 100 hertz signal used for audio testing, or 1000 hertz signal for exciting a bridge circuit, like that. Bridge circuit also inbuiltly present. Bridge circuit ఏదైనా ఉంటే దాన్ని ఎగ్జైటేషన్ చేయడం కోసం ఏదైనా ఫిక్స్డ్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ ఉంటే దానికి అప్రాక్సిమేట్లీ 400 hertz, like that we are going to use it for signal generation for audio type testing. Okay, whereas for bridge testing, 1000 hertz signal for excitation of the bridge circuit we are supposed to give. Oscillations at a specified audio frequency are easily generated by the use of an iron core transformer. We are going to use the iron core type of transformer to obtain the positive feedback through inductive coupling. Through inductive coupling, we are going to use the transformer here, iron core type of transformer. It will give some positive feedback, and it is going to give some inductive type of coupling between the primary and secondary windings like that. Next one is variable AF oscillator. This is very important for fixed frequency AF oscillator, and variable AF oscillator is very important for 2 marks. 2 marks. Okay. A variable AF oscillator for general purpose uses in laboratory should cover at least the full range of audibility, that is 20 hertz to the 20 kilohertz like that, and should have a fairly constant pure sinusoidal wave output over the entire frequency range. Its range is full audibility range is 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz like that. Radio frequency range like that. Okay, approximately. And so the variable frequency AF generators for laboratory use are of the RC feedback oscillators type or beat frequency oscillators, BFO type. Okay, these are the fixed frequency oscillators and variable frequency oscillators. Fixed frequency oscillators, we are going to use this for audio testing purpose and the bridge circuit excitation purpose. Whereas in variable AF oscillators, we are going to use them RC feedback oscillators and the beat frequency oscillators. Okay, this is the basic difference between fixed frequency oscillator and variable AF oscillator. Okay. This is about signal generators introduction. Okay, please go through this one. I will send the material today evening or tomorrow morning like that. Okay, please go through. I would like to change this entire one problem is there. My system is not working properly, that's why I am unable to share the material. Okay, after whenever my problem has been fixed, I will send this PPT, unit 1 PPT to you. Okay.